So you're asking for a scale from the larger picture to the smaller picture, right? So from the larger picture to the smaller picture, obviously it's a reduction. I'm not too sure why they write it like that. Hang on a second. I'm trying to figure out what they wrote like that. Well, when we did this in class, right, this is a reduction. First of all, they're asking for the scale factor. So in this case, it's a reduction. So if it's a reduction, we know it's going to be a number less than 1, right? So we can pick two corresponding sides, either the 125 was the 5 or the 1.5 was the 6. It doesn't matter. So if you remember it, it's small over big, right? So let's pick, I don't know, let's pick this side, the length of the airplane. It's 1.5 over 6. And that becomes 1 over 4. And there is your 0.25. Now, why they write it like this, I'm not too sure. But A is the answer. Okay. 2. A carpenter sketched to scale the pattern for the top of a new entertainment center. If the entertainment center is to be 72 inches wide, by what factor must he multiply all of his measurements? Sketch to scale the pattern for the decorative top for a new entertainment. So, I guess this is the picture, and the entertainment center in real life is 72 inches, right? So in the picture, the width is 6. So what is the factor that's going to go well? So again, if you think about scale factor, this is going to be an enlargement, right? We're going from the picture to the real. So it's big over small. And big here would be 72. The small here would be 6. And therefore, we have 12. So by what factor must he multiply all his measurements? Well, he must multiply everything by 12. And the answer is B. Three. On the map, the distance between two towns is 4 3/4 inches, 4.75. What's the actual distance? The actual distance between the 2 towns is 300 miles. So what is the scale of the map? All right, so remember the scale goes 1 inch equals X miles, right? And what do we have? What we do know is that 4.75 inches or 4.34 inches corresponds to just 380 miles in real life. So we're missing this, our scale, this X here, right? So we want to know on the map, what does every inch represent? So we can cross multiply. That's 380 equals 4.75x. Divide both sides by 4.75. And x equals, and I didn't bring my calculator to my vacation. 4.75, and that's 80. So every inch on this map equals 80 miles in real life. So the scale would have been 3 is C. 4. Jason made a model stop sign for his model train set. The actual sign measured 12 inches on each side. So the actual sign, right? It's a stop sign. Does that look like a stop sign? Nope. Does that look like a stop sign? Okay, there's my stop sign. In actuality, everything is 12 inches. In the model that he made, which is a lot smaller, right? Each of it measures half an inch. What is the scale of the model sign to the actual sign? So you're asking from the scale to the actual. So we're going from this, the small one, to the big one. So this is an enlargement. And enlargement, scale factor is big over small. And big is 12, and the small is ½ inch. So that gives us 24. So there is our answer, letter D. 5 on the map. So we can set up a proportion. 1 centimeter is 80 miles. The actual distance between the two cities, 480 miles. What is it on the map? How many x centimeters? Cross multiply. Well, this one's easy. 80x. This one gives you 480. Divide both sides by 80. And x equals 6 centimeters. 5 is C. Okay. 6. Jack is using what? The plan shown below to build a deck. That's his map. That's his drawing. Based on the what do you call it? Jack's plan, what will be the actual length of the deck? So the key says that 1/4 of an inch is 1.5 feet in real life. We want to know, so the length of the deck right now is 3.25 inches. How many x feet? What does that correspond to in real life? Well, cross multiply again. So x times 1/4. So I'm going to use a decimal. So that's 0.25x when I multiply these two. Multiply those two. 1.5 times 3.25 equals 4.875, which we're going to divide by 0.25. So his deck in real life is 19.5 feet length. Was that 6? And then 7. All right. So again, I guess this whole topic is scales. Here is picture. This is 4 inches. This is 6 inches. She's enlarging the photo by a scale of 1 to 2.5. So it's just going to make it bigger by a factor of 2.5. What is the new measure of the length? So this is going to be multiplied by 2.5. And that's going to be multiplied by 2.5. So 6 times 2.5 is going to be 15. So 7 is D. So this is going to be 15. 8. If I find you. Here you are. And create a map of the state of Ohio using the scale factor 2 centimeters. So 2 centimeters on his map represents 25 miles in real life. The actual distance from Cleveland to Columbus is 142 miles. I'll put that on top. What is the distance on the map? Well, x centimeters, right? Cross multiply. 25x. 2 times 142 is 284. Divide both sides by 25. And x equals 284 divided by 25 equals 11 point, I guess they rounded. Well, it's 11.36. You round to the nearest 10th. They got 11.4. So 8 is B. 9. World map. On a map, the distance from the two cities is 2 1/4 inches. So we have that 0.5 inches, and I'm using decimals. It represents 30 miles in real life. Well, we want to know what 2.25 inches represent in real life. X miles. Cross multiply. 0.5 x, and then 30 times 2.25 equals 67.5. We're going to divide both sides by 0.5, and x equals 135 miles. Answer A. All right, so these, is basically setting up the proportion, right? So the Wright brothers airplane Flyer had a wingspan of 484 inches. Carlos brought a model of the airplane and used a scale factor of 1/40. What wingspan of the model. So in real life, it was 484, so it was a reduction, right? So the model, right? So if you had this is the real wing, the scale factor was 1/40. So the model, what's the length of the wing, the wingspan in the model would be the product of those. So let's do 484 times 1/40. 484. And that should give us 12.1 inches. So the model is going to be 12.1 inches. Scale model of the car is 1/24th of the actual size. On the actual car, the diameter of the tire is 48 centimeters of the actual car. The diameter is 48 centimeters. What is the circumference in centimeters of each tire on the scale model? So this is the diameter of the actual tire. Right, so let's multiply by the scale factor. And on the toy tire, the diameter, let me find the diameter, is 2, what is this unit? 2 centimeters, right? Because 48 times 1/24 is 2 centimeters. So now that I have the diameter, so on the toy tire, this is a toy tire, the diameter is 2 centimeters. Okay, so to find the circumference of the toy tire, C equals pi d, C equals pi times the diameter. So we can leave it as 2 pi or multiply, and we get 2 times 6.28 centimeters. She wants to build a reduced copy of a stained glass window. So I guess the original is on the left. She wants the shape in her reduced copy to be similar, right? So proportional. Selected dimensions of the windows are shown. What value of x in inches should Leon use for her reduced copy? So, right, so if they're similar, we can use a proportion, right? So the ratio of corresponding sides have to be the same. So here we can take this one with this one. So 30 corresponds to 15, as this 12 corresponds to x, and there's our proportion. Right, the ratio between corresponding sides and similar shapes have to be the same. So 30/15, right, whatever the ratio here is the same as the ratio of the other two corresponding sides. So in this case, well, yes, you can cross multiply, but you can also find a relationship here. How does a 30 become 15? Divide by 2. And I can go also like this and say divide by 2. So x equals 6. If you cross multiply, you'd have gotten 30x. And then 15 times 12 is 180. Divide both sides by 30. And x is also 6. So whichever one you wanted to do is fine. 13. Janice has a 5 inch by 3 inch wide photo. So a 5 by 3 inch photos. Okay, enlarged to a 3.5 foot tall poster. So let me change this because apparently I drew this incorrectly. So 5 inches high and 3 inches wide. So inches. Right, so she had a picture that goes like that. And then she changed it to this humongous enlarged wide photo. And the height of the enlarged poster, well, 3.5 feet, right? So let's multiply 3.5. 1 foot is 12 inches. So if we multiply that by 12, let's put everything in inches. It's 42. So the height here is 42 inches. What is the approximate width? So this is what we're looking for, right? So on the On the enlarged, this is the enlarged picture. So again, because they're similar, we can set up a proportion, right? So 5, the ratio of 5 and 42 is the same as the ratio of 3 and x, right? Cross multiply, we get 5x. 42 times 3 is 146. Sorry, yeah, 126. And divide both sides by 5. And x equals, divided by 5, x equals 25.2 inches. So 25.2 inches, they have it in feet. So 1 inch, sorry, 12 inches is 1 foot, right? So 25.2 inches is about 2 feet and change. So the only one that has 2 feet and change is that one. So 13 is B. 14, scale drawing of a rectangular room is 6 inches by, so we have a room, and it's 6 by 8 on the picture. The actual room's 12 inches wide. So the actual room, right? This is 12 inches wide. What is the length, I guess? So again, look, how did the 6 become a 12? Well, times 2. So if that was multiplied by 2, the length also is going to be multiplied by 2. So 8 times 2, x equals 16. This one is a very easy one. So again, if you want to set the proportion, so again, 6, the ratio of these two corresponding sides, 6 and 12, is the same as the ratio of the other two sides, 8 and x. Right? So here's your proportion. If you cross multiply, you would have gotten 6x equals 96. Divide both sides by 6, and x equals 16. Okay, so whichever way you want to do it, it's fine. 15, on the blueprint for a house, the front of the house is shown as 17 inches wide. So the house is 12 inches wide, sorry, and 14 inches tall. In front of the house, if the actual house, right? So again, the actual house, this is in inches, but there's the danger here. Everything is in inches. Right? So you gotta make sure that you change everything to inches. So in front of the house, it's actually 30 feet wide, and again, we're gonna multiply 30 times 12, which is 316 inches, right? And then we're looking for this. So again, set up your proportion if you want, or the ratio of these two corresponding sides, the front of the house, right? 12 and 360 is the same as the ratio of the height of the house, 14 and x. Now remember that this is in inches, so we have to change it to feet. So 12x cross multiply, 360 times 14 equals 5,040. Divide by 12, divide by 12, x equals 420. 420 inches, right? Which we're going to change to feet. We're going to divide that by 12. So we're going to divide that by 12 to change it to feet, and we get 35 feet. So our answer, let's see. You could have changed everything to feet from the get-go, or do what I did. Play with inches, change everything to inches, and then change it back to feet. Okay. This is day 18.